I, 37, female, am a mom of 4 kids, 2 girls and 2 boys. My 19-year-old daughter and I got into an argument about a week and a half ago over my birthday, and now none of my kids will speak to me. My birthday was on a Friday, and I had planned to spend the entire weekend with my boyfriend because he wanted to treat me since this would be my first birthday since we were together. I didn't hear from any of my kids besides the casual text the whole week, and I assumed they probably weren't planning on seeing me or had forgotten. My 19-year-old was usually the one to plan my birthdays after I divorced their dad 2 years ago, but I didn't hear from her, so I made plans and stuck with them. On Friday, I still didn't get a single happy birthday text from my kids. This made me a little sad, but I just assumed that teenagers would be teenagers, and they were busy. They told me they were staying at their dad's this weekend, so my boyfriend picked me up from work and drove me home to change into something nicer because we had plans to go out to dinner. When we got to my apartment and walked in the door, the lights suddenly turned on, and my kids jumped out and yelled surprise. It turns out they hadn't forgotten, and all 4 of my kids were there. They had decorated my apartment with balloons and decorations. I was so happy that they hadn't forgotten, and my 19-year-old gave me a big hug and said she was sorry they made me think they had forgotten. I gave them all big hugs and kisses for being so sweet to me. But when I told them about my boyfriend and my dinner plans, my kids were upset that I wasn't staying. I apologized and told them that I had made plans because I didn't think we were doing anything together. My 19-year-old requested to move the party to the next night, but I told them I couldn't because I had plans for the entire weekend with my boyfriend. They then asked if they could at least go to dinner with us, and I told them no on account my boyfriend doesn't like children, and him and my 19-year-old do not get along, so this would be very awkward. At this point, my 19-year-old got very upset and started to argue with my boyfriend for stealing me away on my birthday, and also at me for not even wanting to spend time with them. I tried to tell them that it was my birthday, and I was allowed to spend it how I wanted, and I got to spend it with them every year, and that this year was special. My 19-year-old again started to yell, and by then my boyfriend stepped in and told her to stop acting like a brat, and then all of my kids started yelling at us. We ended up leaving and going to dinner, and I did spend the weekend with him, but my kids are furious at this and are now staying exclusively with their dad for the time being. Was it so wrong to spend my birthday how I wanted to? You are the idiot. Your boyfriend does not like children, yet you have 3 underage kids, who also separately does not get along with your oldest child, meaning you're dating a man who doesn't like any of your 4 children. Clearly you are saying loud and clear to your children that getting laid is more important to you than any of them. This isn't about what happened this past weekend. It's about your general priorities and how skewed they are. Oh my God, I didn't even see that OP was a teen when her first kid popped out. So the 19-year-old is more educated, more experienced, and likely wiser than her mother was at the time she gave birth. It's no wonder she's the ringleader, as OP puts it, because apparently it's a bad thing for one of your kids to be a role model. Why does OP think it's terrible her younger children want to be like her oldest? Is it because the mother makes a terrible role model? Why would your boyfriend date a person who has 4 kids? You royally screwed up. You have serious groveling to do. This boyfriend probably won't be around long. You have kids and he doesn't like them, so he's automatically out. You sacrificed your children for him? Yeah, go beg their forgiveness. I would be devastated if the woman who gave me life dumped me for some stranger who didn't even like me. Like, what were you thinking? They probably won't talk to you for a while, and it'll be well deserved, to be honest. She doesn't seem to want to be around her children a whole lot either. She hasn't heard from them the whole week, with the exception of the occasional text that, from the way she worded it, were initiated by the kids themselves. What kind of mother goes through a whole week without at least calling to check up on her children? Mother of the Year. I lost my sister almost 9 years ago. She was my only sibling and my best friend. Now fast forward 9 years later, I'm 26, almost 27, married, and soon to be the father of a beautiful baby girl. When we found out we were having a girl, I asked my wife what she thought about naming our daughter after my late sister. She was on board. We also picked out a middle name that meant a lot to my wife's family, so of course we were all happy. A couple of days later, my friends and I were on a casual Zoom call, and someone asked what we were naming her, and I mentioned the name thing and how much both names meant to us. Everyone was happy and that was that, or so I thought. Well, a couple of days later, one of the friends on the Zoom call announced that his girlfriend was 7 months pregnant. None of us had any idea, but we're happy for him nonetheless. Now you can probably guess where this is going. I'll keep this short. Apparently that night, he told her how everything went, and he mentioned my daughter's name, and his girlfriend just loved it so much that she couldn't even picture a different name. They were keeping the gender a surprise and weren't settled on a name. He thought she would change her mind when the baby was born, and well, she didn't. So they copied not only the first name, but also the middle name. I was livid when I first found out. I went over to his house to talk about it. Well, his parents, who have known me since college, were there too, and asked me what was wrong when they saw us arguing from the window. I told them everything, and they were upset too. Upset enough to give a good lecture to both my friend and his girlfriend. Another thing to note is that I made it clear that my wife and I will not be changing our kids' name. Both the kids will probably go to the same school. Now, a few of my friends, him and his girlfriend, are blowing up mine and my wife's phone, calling us inconsiderate and idiots for telling his parents and not even thinking about a name change, since it's technically theirs now. It will make it a little difficult for both the girls to have the same name and the same middle name, since both names aren't super common, not to mention they'll most likely be in the same grade. My question here is, am I being an idiot for, number one, telling his parents and getting them in trouble, and number two, for not considering a name change? They stole the name you were giving your daughter as a tribute to your dead sister and your wife's family. Your friend is an idiot for letting his girlfriend do this. She's also an idiot. Anyone who takes their side is an idiot. How about telling them, our daughter was named after important members of our family, and their daughter was named for our daughter. Throw in, back when we used to be friends, for some extra zing. Agree. I may be a petty idiot too, but I would never miss an opportunity to say how thoughtful it was for them also to name their daughter as a tribute to your sister, and also middle name as a tribute to your wife's family. Or make it weird by sticking with the sister. On the first day of kindergarten, tell the teacher, oh, they're both named after my sister who passed away. Like, how? Why? There are a million names out there. Why feel the need to steal your friends /sisters /in-laws baby name? Like 10 years later, when the kids ask the origin of their names, the parents are going to be like, yeah, we had these great friends who were also going to have a baby, and we really like the ex-friends, so we took it. You're named after my ex-friend's sister. Like, what on earth? What is the psychology behind this? Why do people do this? I need answers. How jealous and petty are these people who hear some random name from someone else, and suddenly that's the only perfect name in all of the existence of the whole world and time? It's not that the name is so singularly perfect. It's because of the jealousy that lives in that person that wants what someone else has. For Secret Santa, I got Sarah, who put down a bunch of books that she wanted and other things like socks, tea, and candy. But to be honest, I was a little disappointed because I really like to shop for people and give cool gifts, and these were just blah things. When I looked up all the books to get her, I found out they were all romance novels. I felt kinda cringe buying her romance novels, so I looked at the common themes and found an excellent fantasy novel to buy her instead, called Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. It has a romance in it too. I figure if she likes to read, then she'd be happy to broaden her horizons and branch out. I also got her some Baby Yoda socks to go with it, because who doesn't like Baby Yoda, and some Bigelow tea that looked good. We did the exchange this morning, and she looked visibly confused when she opened hers. She changed her face to be surprised/happy, but this really bothered me. Later, I heard her talking and complaining in the break room, saying she didn't get why someone got her these things. The other person said they probably were upset they got a woman instead of a man, which I thought was rude. I'm a woman too. I'm just not a pumpkin spice latte and Hallmark woman. Then I saw her give the socks to someone else, saying they could have them for their kid. I was honestly really bothered by this. I put thought and effort into a gift. Am I the idiot for getting her something to branch out of the humdrum romance genre and Baby Yoda socks? I thought everyone liked Baby Yoda. LOL, yes, you are the idiot, but you'll probably never understand why, so there's not much point in this. Still, I'm going to say it anyway. What the heck is your problem? Why do you feel it's your job to shame people for what they like? She put what she wanted on a sheet of paper, but you decided you knew better. So of course she was disappointed. The whole point of putting things you like down when doing these things is so people can receive something they want instead of some BS that they don't want. Congratulations on wasting your money and disappointing someone for no reason. Maybe next time stop being condescending and let people enjoy things, or don't participate. You are the idiot. You're the one being misogynistic. Internalized misogyny is a thing with your I'm a woman, just not a pumpkin spice latte and Hallmark woman. Next, you're going to tell us that you hate the color pink, makeup, and pop music. Come on. Just because a woman has some taste that fit into the mold of stereotypical female taste, it doesn't mean that you get to judge her and act as if you know better than her. Also, it's a work Secret Santa. Maybe she asked for $5 novels because of a gift price limit, because she doesn't want to ask for too much. So, to judge this story, there's a couple of crucial background bits of info you need to know. First, my sister-in-law and brother have known they were infertile for a couple of years now. They tried to adopt, but between sister-in-law's chronic illness, my brother's sporadic income, and Australia's notorious difficulties of adopting kids, they've given up. We tend to shy away from talking about it, since sister-in-law is very sensitive. Our family has a long-running joke that my older brothers and I are orphans my parents got from Sydney Harbor, but since sister-in-law is sensitive about issues regarding adoption, I don't think we've ever said it around her. Last weekend, I was visiting my parents when my sister-in-law was there. Our youngest was with me, since my wife didn't want to bring a baby out shopping. Bub was being fussy, and I made the joke to my parents that maybe I should leave her under the harbor bridge in exchange for a calmer baby. I realized too late sister-in-law was there, and I probably shouldn't have made that joke around her, but she didn't seem visibly affected. Dad obviously ripped off my joke and said that I shouldn't exchange her. I've raised her for 16 months. I should ask for some compensation from her new parents, to which I said, that's probably smart. We have a mortgage to think about. Sister-in-law at this point interjects, well, how much would you sell her for? I was surprised she joined in on the joke and said, oh, I'd have to ask the missus. She carried her for 9 months and all. I assumed that was that. But I got a call from sister-in-law on Wednesday morning, where she asked me if I'd asked my wife about the price. I was very confused, asked for clarification, and she outright told me, you said you'd sell the baby for the right price. She'd be better with me than a stranger. I responded pretty incredulously, you don't think I'm selling my daughter, right? Thinking that she was going to say she was joking, and I was just not picking up on her tone correctly. But she got huffy and ended the call. I got a call later that night from my brother, angrily saying that I was cruel to get my sister-in-law's hopes up for no reason, and then mocking her when she was already feeling vulnerable due to her infertility, that he expected better of me, and that he thinks it's best if I reconsider coming to family Christmas, hosted by our parents, since sister-in-law doesn't want to see me, my wife, or the kids for a long time. My wife, who isn't a fan of my sister-in-law, due to how she treated her during her pregnancies, is unsurprisingly on my side. My father, most likely chastised by my brother, is saying I should apologize to sister-in-law and bring her a nice bottle and some cheeses. Mom is staying out of it, and my other brother is mostly on my side, but doesn't want Christmas ruined for everyone over a dumb joke. So, am I the idiot? Should I be apologizing to sister-in-law to keep the peace? Not the idiot. Maybe you should apologize to keep the peace, but you're in no way the idiot. Your sister-in-law may be embarrassed for taking your jokes as something serious, and you were in no way making fun of or commenting about her infertility. She's desperate for a child and thought this was her chance to adopt one finally. She's probably obsessed and was blinded that maybe this was too good to be true. This is very, very concerning behavior. Not the idiot. Your sister-in-law cannot possibly be this dumb. I mean, she had to know that this was sarcasm. No one sells children under bridges, and jokes are made in good fun like this between families all the time. It was only a serious offer in the mind of someone who's not mentally well. You shouldn't have to get her hopes up. For what? She knew you were not going to sell your child under a bridge. Come on now. No one on the planet would think you were serious. Your sister-in-law needs mental health help because she takes every situation and projects her infertility on it, apparently treats pregnant women like crap, and thinks buying babies is A-okay. So she either needs to get over herself and stop being an attention-seeking drama queen, or she has something seriously wrong with her that needs to be addressed. But either way, you aren't the idiot, and you shouldn't have to censor yourself in your normal family banter for her crazy. I hosted a small dinner for my birthday. The dinner was going really well, and everybody was having a good time when Mom started talking about her friends. My sister used to date her best friend's son, and she ended up talking about his recent promotion. My sister didn't like it and asked her why she was bringing this up. Mom said she was just making small talk, and my sister told her to stop trying to bring up her ex. Mom defended herself and said she couldn't possibly stop talking about her closest friend and her son just because she had broken up with him. My sister then told Mom to stop obsessing over a relationship she had as a teenager. Mom then called her an idiot for breaking up with him and said sister's girlfriend was a nice girl, but she had always imagined that she and her ex would end up together. Mom had mispronounced her girlfriend's name, and my sister started to yell at Mom before her girlfriend calmed her down and they left. I really hate that my birthday party has been ruined. I had asked them both not to start an argument. My sister knows how Mom is, and she should have ignored it. Mom would have given up after mentioning him a few times. My mom and sister don't interact a lot, and I talked to my sister and told her how upset I was that my birthday ended in an argument again. She told me that she was done keeping the peace and would cut contact with Mom. I told her it was crazy to do that, and we ended up arguing. I feel bad because by the end of the conversation, my sister was crying, and Mom had been pretty crappy about her girlfriend. She has been rude to her and refused to learn how to pronounce her name. My mom is pretty stubborn, but that doesn't mean she has to be cut off. You are the idiot. Wow. Why on earth wouldn't your sister want to not hear about how well her ex is doing at a nice birthday meal? And your mom could stop talking about her best friend. There's no what else could she talk about, LMAO. Stop enabling your mom. P.S. Your mom ruined your birthday, not your sister. As someone with a mom like this, let me tell you that just not getting into an argument is not so simple. See, I enter every situation with my mom with a pile of unhealed grievances, so every little comment just adds to the pile. It's already so big that even little things set me off. Your mom wasn't just making small talk. She was picking at the wounds of your sisters that she won't let heal because she keeps picking at them. Your mom was the provoker, and it's clear you knew it was intentional, but you're mad at your sister for not ignoring your mother's attacks? Time to be angry with the right person. I have to ask, if your sister had let it go, and instead everyone was subjected to the mean and very awkward attacks your mom was making against your sister and her relationship, why wouldn't that have ruined everything for you? You should probably reflect if it would have.